Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at my Pokemon Jimmies, but me also Force Palm, which got added into the game code with actually a great stats here. We're going to have power level of 13, which is great. 13 power level is the same as Dragon Tail. We're going to have the duration of 2 turns, which seems kind of busted. It's not the case because in the game code, always the duration turn is for, honestly, whatever reason, I have no idea why, minus a 1 what it's actually going to be. So it is 3 turn duration plus energy delta of 10, which is really good. Of course, it's a fighting type move, and what this kind of means translated into the game code is kind of this here, what we see there. It's going to be a Dragon Tail that is generating 1 plus energy, which seems quite busted. And if we compare it to the move counter, we will see as well that we do a little bit less energy generation, but a little bit more damage actually, which is quite ridiculous. And what we're gonna see now as well is on how good it's going to be. I already made a video about Lucario on the raid day. You get the move, by the way, currently only on Lucario on the raid day. It's a legacy move then as well. It's a fast move, of course, and a lot of other Pokemon can learn it, which you're gonna take a look at afterwards as well. But let's take a look if this is going to actually change anything. The last time we looked at it, we only compared it to Force Palm as a Dragon Tail clone, which is not the case anymore because now it's a better Dragon Tail. And so it is also better than Counter. It is better than Counter, which is quite ridiculous. There are some matches, of course, that you're going to lose and some that you're going to win, or like a little bit of a different one. But in general, here you're going to win against the Vigoroth now with the Lucario, as well as you lose against Charjabug somehow. We want to actually take a look at this matchup here, but it's fine. We're going to see here as well that anything else is kind of similar. But generally speaking, as you can see at the back, you have a better average rating with the move, what's called actually Force Palm, good job me, than compared to Counter. And that's quite interesting, to be fair, because usually Counter was considered to be the best move in the game, kinda together with Shadow Claw. And now all of a sudden there is a better move, which kinda showcases a little bit of power creep again. The thing is, of course, not a good Pokemon really can learn this move yet because it's only based on Lucario, but it's very likely you're gonna see it later on for other Pokemon as well. But let's take a look here real quick what Lucario can do as well without this move Counter. You're gonna see an average rating of 452 in the one shield scenario, and if you're gonna put in now Force Palm as a potential, that's Fairy Wind, that's not Force Palm. Force Palm is a potential move we're gonna see here already, that it's going to increase by 16, which is a little bit of an increase, so like it's not a crazy update or anything. It's also going to be maybe still a case like we see with Dragon Breath and Dragon Tail, that people still want to go for Counter because the duration of the move, like Counter 2-turn move, this is going to be a 3-turn move, it's going to be shorter, which a lot of people like a little bit more, prefer a little bit more, but in general, Force Palm is definitely up there and definitely going to counter, which is kind of hilarious. But anyway, we're going to take a look at the Ultra League as well, which we're going to see is going to be kind of a similar thing here as well. We're going to see again for the one-shield scenario that Force Palm is the better move to go for. While you lose against Gyarados, somehow your entire average rating is going to be a little bit better because you just do more damage with your fast move. And so you're going to have also in like worse situations a little bit of a more play, I guess. And honestly, with this kind of update, I could also see that here, for example, in the 2-shield scenario, you're only going to have 2 extra matchups that we win, that even something like Power Punch would be kind of interesting one for it. Not too sure it's actually going to be worth it to go for Power Punch on it, but Force Palm generates energy so fast that, Power Punch actually going to make this Pokemon actually quite nice in the 2-shield scenario here. Let's see how it's going to be if we're going to compare it to the Counter variant with it. It is going to be, okay, Counter's maybe a little bit better. Like this thing as well, what I kind of mean with pacing and why maybe some people rather go for Counter over Force Palm still. Counter, 2-turn move, only needs 10 turns total to go for the Power Punch, while for the first Power Punch you need 12 turns with that Lucario with Force Palm, because you need to go for 4 fast moves, getting a total of 40 energy. The next one only needs 9 turns then, because you get like 5 extra energy from those 4 Force Palms compared to, like, of course, Counter then, because you only need 35 for the Power Punch. So yeah, that's kind of the thing for that one. So it is going to be in general slightly better than Counter most likely, but depends also kind of on what and how you play it. Anyway, here we're going to take a look at Force Palm real quick in the main series games and what kind of Pokemon can learn this move. One of them is going to be Breloom, which is a Pokemon that I also would love to see in the meta. Like in general, I like fighting grass-type Pokemon quite a bit, but in the current meta, with a lot of flying-type Pokemon like Mantine and Gligar, as well as Skarmory, it is quite tricky to get those to work. We want to have Hariyama as another Pokemon, which honestly, Hariyama is like the one Shadow Pokemon I want to see work. Why? Because Hariyama has a low defense stat, has a decent attack stat, and a high HP stat. Basically, what Shadow Bonus does is, after like all the CP calculation, it does minus 20% on the defense and plus 20% on the attack. Hariyama is one of the Pokemon that single-handedly benefits the most of the Shadow bonus. Just the moveset itself is currently not really ideal enough for it to be meta, but the Shadow treatment on Hariyama is kind of the best one of them all, which is kind of hilarious, but sadly still never saw any play so far. But maybe in the future. We have Medicham here, we're going to have the Mienshao, we have Marshadow as well, and some other Pokemon that have not been released, and then by breeding you would have Timber, which you're not going to take a look at, but Stuffle, and Stuffle honestly, actually we can also put Timber in there really quick in the next Matrix mode there as well, why not? We're going to have here the Nikon Kelda. We only have this here for the Great League real quick because I kind of want to get the video done. It is quite late already, but here we can now compare all of the different kind of Pokemon with counter usually, or for Mienshao, Poison Jab I guess, and how are they going to function then with the next move, Force Palm. So here, first counter, then Force Palm, and that's kind of for the entire way through. What we're going to see here as well, that in general, Force Palm is going to be the better move to go for. So we're just going to scroll here onto the right side, and what we're gonna see as well is that Breloom going to get an average rating increase. Here Hariyama actually gets the decrease, which is kind of interesting. Medicham gets a slight increase and plus 2 matchups. You have Mienshao from 4 wins to 13 wins with it. Of course, still not the best Pokemon because Mienshao is a quite squishy attacker. Broguiere actually would be a Pokemon that I would love to see getting Force Palm. For Kelda, apparently it does not really benefit it. Not a great Pokemon anyway for the Go Battle League so far. For the 2-shield scenario, we see kind of similar picture there as well. Breloom going to benefit. Hariyama actually now going to benefit as well, while Medicham is still going to get 2 extra matchups here, which is kind of important. So yeah, quite a lot of Pokemon that would benefit from this move, and this is definitely a very, very strong move, which I did not really expect, to be fair. I was thinking that this most likely going to be a move again that we can kind of forget about, but I like the thing that they gonna try to put now higher duration turns in a little bit of a better state there, because that's the issue with the current meta anyway. Like if you take a look at the current meta, what do you have? You have lick damage of Lickitung, you have Dragon Breath, you have like Shadow Claw, you have counter. Basically 90% of the moves that like Pokemon run currently are either 1 or 2 turn moves, and so I really like that they're gonna go off their way and basically do like 3 turn moves and 4 turn moves and 5 turn moves and give them a little bit more love. Like for example, recently Incinerate got buffed, which was really nice. We got Water Shuriken on Greninja, which is a cool 3 turn fast move forward. Stuff like this I really like to see for the meta, because it's just gonna make it a little bit more wider than just like, yeah, either you have something with a Mud Shot or with counter or Shadow Claw, and otherwise it doesn't work. So I really like this one. Do I think it's going to change anything for Lucario moving forward? Most likely not, but it's still better most likely than counter on it, which is kind of cool. And so definitely try to rate them all during the raid day. Hopefully you have a lot of fun with that, and see you then. Bye bye.